I want you to stop whatever you're doing and really listen to this. Because this story is going to make some of you angry. And the ones it makes angry are the ones who need it the most. 2 years ago, a man sat at a dinner table and told his family, "We made it. We are never going back to struggling again." His daughter cried. His wife held his hand across the table. His son looked at him like he was a superhero. That moment was real. That feeling was real. That promise was real. 23 months later, that same man is standing outside that same house, watching strangers carry his furniture out. Court order. His daughter won't take his calls. His wife left 4 months ago. His son posted on social media. Funny how the ones who talk the loudest fall the hardest. His own son. And here's the part that will make you uncomfortable. He didn't lose it to cancer. He didn't lose it to crime. He didn't lose it to some disaster that nobody could have seen coming. He lost it to applause. To the desperate, addictive, soul-destroying need to be seen, to be admired, to have people look at his life and feel envy. He traded his family's security for strangers' approval. And the strangers? They moved on to the next story by Tuesday morning. This is not a story about bad luck. This is a story about what success does to people who were never taught what to do with it. And if you think you're immune, if you're sitting there right now thinking, "That would never be me," that thought, right there, is exactly where his story started too. Because if it happened to him, a man with real money, real assets, a real future, it can happen to anyone. Subscribe right now. Because this video is going to show you exactly how wealth disappears. Not slowly. Not dramatically. But quietly. Decision by decision. Until there's nothing left. His name was James. And James had genuinely built something real. By 38, he owned a mid-sized construction supply company that he had started from scratch at 31 with $8,000 in savings and a borrowed van. 7 years of 5 a.m. mornings. 7 years of eating cheap lunches at the warehouse. 7 years of saying no to holidays, no to new cars, no to the lifestyle his friends were already living. And it paid off. By year 7, his business was generating $600,000 a year in revenue. He was paying himself $18,000 a month. He had $200,000 sitting in a business account. He had a house he was 3 years from owning outright. He had arrived. And the moment James felt that, the moment he exhaled and thought, "I've made it," that was the moment everything began to fall apart. Most people don't realize this. Arriving is the most dangerous moment in any financial story. The first thing James did when he felt successful was start looking successful. He'd driven a 12-year-old truck for 7 years. Now he bought a $94,000 Range Rover. Cash. Because taking a payment plan, in his mind, was something you did when you couldn't really afford it. He renovated his house. Not because it needed it, but because a man at his level shouldn't have a kitchen that looked like that. $67,000 in renovations. He hired a lifestyle consultant to help him build the brand of being a successful business owner. Events. Dinners. Photo shoots. He joined a private members club, $2,400 a year, because the connections, he told himself, would be worth it. He upgraded his wardrobe. Took his family to the Maldives because they deserved it after all those years. And he started investing. Not carefully. Not slowly. Fast. A friend, someone he'd met at that private members club, told him about a property development deal overseas. Minimum entry, $80,000. Returns projected at 40% in 18 months. James wired the money inside of a week. No lawyer. No due diligence. Just trust. Because men at his level made bold moves, right? That's what success looked like. 6 months later, the property deal goes silent. Calls go unanswered. The website disappears. $80,000. Gone. James doesn't tell anyone. Not his wife. Not his accountant. Because admitting it meant admitting he'd been careless. And James had an image to protect now. So he absorbs the loss privately and keeps spending publicly. But now the business starts showing cracks. 2 major clients leave. A competitor undercuts his pricing. Revenue drops from $600,000 to $380,000. Still good. But his cost structure was built for $600,000. He'd hired extra staff when times were good. Upgraded the office. Leased equipment he'd previously owned outright. Now the monthly overhead was suffocating him. He dips into the business account. Then again. Then the $200,000 buffer is at $60,000. He takes a business loan, $150,000, to stabilize things. Pays himself slightly less. But keeps the Range Rover. Keeps the club membership. Books another family holiday because canceling it would mean explaining things to his wife. And he is not ready to have that conversation. Not yet. At night he lies awake running numbers in his head. His chest is tight. His temper is short. He starts drinking more than he should. Just to quiet the noise. Just to sleep. His wife notices. She thinks it's work stress. She doesn't know it's so much worse than that. By month 18, the business loan is spent. The business account has $4,000 in it. The house, which he'd stopped making accelerated payments on, now has a second bond registered against it for emergency cash. And the Range Rover? He can't sell it. Because selling it would be the first visible sign that something is wrong. And James cannot let anyone see that. Not yet. This is the moment where psychology stops being interesting and starts being catastrophic. So how does a man with $200,000 and a thriving business end up here in less than 2 years? The first force that destroyed James is called sudden wealth syndrome. It sounds almost funny. But it is real and it is brutal. When people accumulate wealth gradually, they develop financial discipline as part of the process. But when wealth arrives in a rush, a windfall, a breakthrough year, a sudden success, the mind hasn't built the psychological infrastructure to manage it. You feel invincible. And invincibility is the most expensive feeling in the world. The second force was identity lock-in. Once James started living at a certain level, his brain registered it as who he was. Not what he had. Who he was. So every financial retreat, selling the car, cutting the staff, canceling the club, didn't feel like a practical decision. It felt like dying. Like losing himself. And humans will make catastrophically irrational financial decisions to protect their sense of self. Every single time. The third force, and this is the one nobody talks about, is success blindness. James had worked hard and it had paid off. So his brain created a dangerous equation. My instincts are good. My decisions made me rich. Therefore, my decisions are right. So he skipped due diligence on the investment. Skipped the hard conversations. Skipped the moment of honest accounting. Because successful men don't second-guess themselves. That belief cost him everything. Here it is. The thing nobody will say to you gently. Wealth doesn't make you better at managing money. It just raises the stakes of getting it wrong. Most people think that getting rich solves the money problem. It doesn't. It multiplies it. Because now the decisions are bigger. The losses are bigger. The ego is bigger. And the ego, not the economy, not bad luck, not the fraud. The ego is what really bankrupted James. He couldn't admit he was wrong. He couldn't downsize before it became an emergency. He couldn't ask for help before the house was already gone. The truth nobody tells you is this. The ability to retreat gracefully is worth more than the ability to advance boldly. Knowing when to pull back. Knowing when to be honest. Knowing when your lifestyle has outgrown your reality. That skill, that quiet, unglamorous skill, is the real difference between people who keep wealth and people who lose it. James never learned it. I am not going to tell you to avoid success. I am going to tell you to build what I call a wealth floor. A non-negotiable financial foundation that you protect before you upgrade your life. Before the new car. Before the renovation. Before the investment. Ask yourself 3 questions. 1. If my income dropped by 40% tomorrow, how long could I survive without changing anything? 2. Is my lifestyle funded by real, stable cash flow, or by the feeling that things are going well right now? 3. Am I making this decision because it genuinely moves me forward, or because it protects an image I've become addicted to? James never asked these questions. He was too busy building the surface to check the foundation. And when the surface cracked, there was nothing underneath. Build the floor first. Always. No matter how good things look from the outside. James eventually started over. Smaller business. Modest apartment. A used car he paid cash for, $6,000. He told me something I haven't been able to forget. He said, "When I had nothing, I was hungry enough to be careful. When I had everything, I felt safe enough to be stupid. And safe is the most dangerous thing a person with money can feel." Read that again. Safe is the most dangerous thing a person with money can feel. Because safety makes you stop watching. And the moment you stop watching, money finds the door. If this story made you feel something, if it made you think about a decision you're sitting on right now, drop it in the comments. No judgment. Just honesty. And if you know someone who's doing well right now but spending like the good times are permanent, share this with them. It might be the most important thing they watch this year. Subscribe for more stories that go deeper than the surface. Because the truth about money is never where people think it is. See you in the next one.